Hello everybody. As you could see, I came across Cujo here about roughly about an hour ago. I was actually getting ready to move these three critter keepers up to the shelf, and I noticed a web mat, and I realized that Cujo was on its back. Now, this one did something I've never seen before, and that was it popped the carapace, and you could see it's 95% out of the abdomen, and then it rolled on its side to pop the legs, and I was really worried because the progress was really slow, and I thought for sure that this one was going to get stuck in the molt. But you can see we're almost all the way out now. This has been a very methodical molting, nowhere near what the Acanthoscria geniculata that I caught last week on film, or Cheeto, the Orphanachus philippinus, that I caught on film last month or 2 months ago. This one is taking its time. This is a Grammostola pulchripes. We're probably right around 1.25 inches prior to molting. So this is one that I really am not. I don't care if it's male or female, because I have Annika, which is the female already. So if Cujo ends up being female, then I'll probably put her up for sale, because I don't need to have two females. If we're a male, then Annika will have a boyfriend later on in life, in another however many years. But yeah, so I thought I would just give you guys a quick update. I said before I would try and keep doing the updates to keep you guys in tune to what's going on here. You can see there for a while we were stuck at the patellus. Just didn't want to get out of this shear here now. Looks like legs are pretty much almost all the way out now. So where the spider's at, once it flips, I'll be able to get this molt out right away when it's still pliable. Get it on some foam and try using the microscope attachment and trying to put a sex to this one. Now the problem was Annika, I was not able to sex until she was 2.5 inches long, and up to that point I thought that she was a male the whole time because there was just nothing there to see. Now I didn't have the microscope attachment, and I do have a microscope USB microscope that goes with the computer too. It's just such a pain to hook up. By the time you gotta get the computer hooked up, get the software uploaded. Well, it's loaded, but you gotta turn it on, and then you gotta get the microscope set up, and then you gotta fine tune it and figure out, and you gotta make sure that the molt's pinned right, because if you don't, then the microscope pumps it and moves it and twists it, and then you don't see anything. So I'm still messing around learning that thing a little bit, but I thought I'd give you guys this real quick shot, and then I'll give you guys an update once it flips back over. Okay, so as you can see, we are completely out of the molt, or the exuvia is what it's actually called. Molt is the actual process of what they're doing. Everybody just calls it a molt just because it's easier. But yeah, exuvia is the actual scientific term for a cast exoskeleton. Maybe we'll catch her or him flipping. Again, you can see very visible. Let's see if we'll focus here. You can see the tarsal claws on the top leg there. That's kind of the one that was extended there. They're very visible when they're upside down like this and fresh off of a molt. You don't really see them when they're upside down, or right side up, I guess you should say, because upside down is when it's a lot easier to see the tarsal claws. This one took its time for being such a small spider. I mean, I don't know how long it was when it first flipped over and before it started to actually start the process, but last hour and a half roughly, maybe not quite that long. from the time that it started, or when I moved it over here. And you know, once it actually really got out of the carapace and the abdomen area and the legs, when it flipped over to its side, I was really worried, actually, because there wasn't a lot of progress being made. And even though the legs were still somewhat twitching here and there, I really thought that this one was going to get stuck. Its legs was going to get stuck, because the A-gen pulled out of the legs pretty easily. This one seemed to struggle a little bit, so, and that could just be attributed to the species. I'm not really quite sure, but it definitely did take its time to get out of those 8 legs. And I was just worried of it being on its side, because again, I've watched some spiders molt, my fair share of them, and I've never witnessed one actually go to its side. I've had a couple of people comment on my post on Facebook that they have seen it. You know, a couple of their spiders do that, so it's not abnormal. I've just never witnessed it myself before, so you kind of get a little hesitant and worried that you know, especially with the slow progress of pulling the legs out. I've never had to do anything quote unquote surgically to them, you know, like cutting the exuvia off their legs. I do have a X-Acto knife that's used for modeling, doing model cars and, you know, stuff like that, specifically for that reason, that and open up egg sacs. I got it like a couple years ago when I was like, oh yeah, I start hammering this hobby and get all the stuff I need right now, and I've never used it. And, you know, I hope I don't have to, except for maybe opening up an egg sac, but I really don't want to ever have to worry about trying to, you know, remove the exuvia off of a freshly molted spider. It just seems so traumatic for them. I mean, sometimes it has to get done. But how do you hold that little tiny spider and try to take that little tiny razor blade knife and cut off an old skin, especially with my shaky hands? That would be kind of tough. So this spider here has been in pre-molt for a while. I actually tried to feed it a few days ago, because I was like, I haven't fed it in like 3 months, and I haven't tried in like 2, and we're not, you know, we weren't really gaining anything with it. So it was one of those, let's throw a small cricket in there. It ran away from it, so I took it back out, and here we are a few days later. I flipped upside down and molting. And I thought that the Brachypelma shorderi would be the next one to molt, and I was wrong. That's typical Grammostola, long pre-molt. Okay, well, I'm going to pause you guys for a little while, and I'll keep an eye on, as soon as I hit the off button is when Cujo's going to flip. I know it. I got a kind of decent look through the top of this critter keeper with, I opened up the lid. I took a picture. It's not clear ventrally. It's not clear to me at all what we're looking at. I really couldn't discern whether it was male or female ventrally. So hopefully, if we roll to our right, which it looks like that's the way the spider's going to roll, I'll be able to pull that molt right out, because it'll roll right off of it, and I'll be able to get it out of there pretty easily, get the microscope on it, see what I can see. That depends on how long this little bugger wants to wait before it flips. Okay, I'm going to pause you for a little bit and then bring you back here once I see some more action. Okay, like I said, like within seconds after I turn the camera off here, looks like we're trying to possibly flip over. We started to, and then I say we like I'm helping. Now Cujo started to flip, then kind of gave up. Now we're resting. Again, I say we like I'm resting too. Well, I am resting, but So somebody asked me earlier about my ankle, so I'll just update it. I'll tell you guys now while we're sitting here waiting for Cujo to hopefully flip. I started pool therapy on Monday. It didn't go very well because there was no support. Every exercise that I do at therapy is non-weight bearing, so it's sitting on a table doing stretches, range of motion exercises, heat, stem, ice, all that lovely stuff, ultrasound. So we started pool therapy on Monday, and we did laps walking in the pool. So they wanted me to try and flex the foot, and of course when you're in a pool, you're only at about 35% of your actual load bearing, so you don't feel a lot. And then you also have the pressure of the water around your joints and your ligaments and everything, so it kind of gives you that support also. We did those. We did range of motion forward, range of motion side to side, and then we did calf stretches. And by the time I was done with the pool and went into therapy, the ground part of therapy that day, about halfway through that session, ground therapy, the ankle really started to hurt a lot more. It started to throb, started to burn, and now we're swollen again. So we didn't do pool therapy today, and we won't do pool therapy tomorrow. I go back to the doctor Monday. I just want him to tell me, yeah, we're going to go in there and take a look, or we're going to, I'm just tired of dealing with this. But somebody did ask me about it, so I thought I'd update everybody, and then I can let you guys know next week what the doctor says about what's going to happen. I really don't want to have surgery because it's really going to impede me dealing with the spiders because of the top shelves and me being able to get up there and get them like I normally do. I may have to have the kids come in here and help, and that kind of scares me because they'll probably drop something. Come on, Cujo, let's flip over for everybody. Pan out just a little bit. Oh yeah, we're gonna have focus issues because we're gonna want to focus on the exuvia there, which it's doing a pretty good job of. I can pull that now because the spider's off of it. Let me move the microphone here. See, it's safe to pull the molt as long as the spider is completely off of, and you can see here's the carapace right here, here's the abdomen, spider's there. No issues whatsoever, didn't disturb the spider at all. Now we have nothing but clear view. And while you guys are watching, now this is going to end up being way longer than it needs to be. So I'm going to shut you off, which means that the spider's going to flip real quick. Okay, everybody. Yeah, I screwed up again. I was waiting for Cujo here to do some movements, and it's been kind of sitting here idle for the last half hour or so. Still flipped upside down. So I was like, well, I'm going to do a quick visual scan. I was watching the Belfories work together. 3 of the 4 were out webbing, and the 4th one must be the foreman sitting in the office doing nothing. So as I was doing this, I was looking at the Carapoensis, the Annex, the Sazame, and the Brachypelma vagans. If you remember the other day, I showed you guys the Brachypelma vagans, and I said any day that one's going to be molting. Well, she's on her back right now. So I had 2 spiders molting at the same time. The vagans hasn't even really started yet, just upside down. So I brought her down, and I was just getting ready to move Cujo's enclosure over, and the minute that I touched the enclosure, it startled him and he flipped back over. Now, I did get a ventral look I do seem to think what I see is the gonopore opening, and the molt had nothing in it. It's still small yet. Like I said, I didn't get Annika sexed until she was 2.5 inches long, so we're going to go with suspected male for now with this one. And we're going to move these guys off to the side, and then I'll show you the Brachypelma vagans. Alrighty, well, there she is. That's Alistar. Alistar is definitely going to need the enclosure upgrade after we recover from this molt. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the ventral shot is gonna, I'm gonna say 99% female based on the ventral shot. At least her laying here like this anyway. Right in the water bowl. So it could take her a little while. I'm not going to stay up for this one. We're going to leave her right here. We'll put the cover back on. I got my granddaughter tomorrow morning, so when I first get up in the morning, we'll take a look at her. I'll probably end up waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning anyway. So we'll take a look at her, and then I'll update then, and then we'll put all this into a video and upload it tomorrow morning while my granddaughter's here. The video can be uploading while I'm hanging out with her. Okay, so we'll see you guys with the update on Alistar here, and yeah, 4 or 5 hours, huh? Back soon. Okay, guys, so here is Alistar. Again, I'm pretty sure that we're a female. We'll sex the molt. The molt's taken out. The molt was over there. She's over here. Hopefully she. If it is a female, we'll just change the name to Allison instead of Alistar. Alistar is a pretty male name. So yeah. Let's see if we can get a little better. Get some light here. There, you can see her a little bit better. Not much, huh? We'll turn this off. It'll be dark. There she is. Nice and black. Beautiful red hair. This is the darkest that she's been so far. Yeah, anxious to move her into something bigger. And moving the Grammostola pulchripes into anything other than that critter keeper. And yeah, all right. Well, I'll give you guys a view of the molt here in a minute, and we'll go from there. Good morning, everybody. This is the molt from the Brachypelma vagans. As you can see, that is 100% female. This is the microscope attachment for my phone. See if you scan in, scan out, or zoom out. I think this is a 10 times magnifier, and then you can zoom it up to 40 times when you zoom it all the way in. And you can see pretty clearly the spermathecae and the uterus externus there. So yeah, we have a female. So we're going to just change the name to Allison instead of Alistar. Yeah, cool. So the little Grammostola pulchripes is what appears to be a male, and the Grammostola yeah, vagans is a female. So thanks for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed these two little spiders molting, a male and a female. I didn't do any footage of the vagans, just her on her back and then her flipped back over again. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll talk to everybody soon.